Hello, I'm Mr. Malden, and this is the Middle School Math Toolbox where I teach you how to become a middle school math master. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button down below. Today we're looking over the area of polygons. So multi-sided shapes like triangles and trapezoids. We're also going to do parallelograms and rectangles today, all right? So let's just go ahead and talk just quickly about area. What is area? Well, area is the amount of space that a two-dimensional object uses up, all right? So this rectangle right here, if I were wanting to find the area of the rectangle, what I'm trying to find is all the inside space. How much, or what's the measure of the inside space, all right? And that's going to be what area is, all right? Whenever you're finding area, we're going to use a three-step process that I call formula, fill it, find it, all right? Sorry, I'm fumbling around a lot. Here we go. So formula, fill it, find it is the process that I use whenever we have a math formula. We're going to start by just simply writing the formula. And then we're going to fill in that formula with the correct information. And then we just do the math that it tells us to do. All right. And I've got a very kind of specific process that I go through and I teach my students going through. So maybe you can pick up on that as we go through. All right. So let's go ahead and just start with this rectangle that you see on the screen. The first thing you want to do is find the correct formula. Now we're going to try to find the area of this rectangle. So we need the formula that would give us the area, and that's area equals BH, or A equals BH. The A stands for area, the B stands for base, the H stands for height, right? You might have heard it as length times width. It's really just two dimensions on a rectangle or a parallelogram, and you just have to simply multiply that. Well, because it's so simple in terms of looking for the area of a rectangle or parallelogram, a lot of times students will start making shortcuts, all right? They'll make a connection that, I just have to find area, I just have to multiply this number, I have to find two numbers that I need to multiply. And yeah, that works with a rectangle and it works with a parallelogram, but it doesn't work with a triangle and it doesn't work with a trapezoid. So what I tell students is it's best to start, even when the math is simple, or especially when the math is simple, start with the right process so that when the math gets hard, you already know the process that you're going to use and you just have to go step by step. So we're still going to use this even on the simple math, all right? A equals BH. The second step, all right, so we've got our A equals BH. The second step down is the fill it step. And the way that I do that is I look at my variables there. I look at what the question's asking for. If the question's asking for area, all right, then I'm going to keep my big A. If the question was asking for the base, then I would keep my little b. If the question was asking for the height, then I would keep my little h, all right? In this case right here, we're trying to find the area. So we're going to keep the A. And then every other variable that we see, all right, if you have a lowercase variable, I like to replace them with parentheses, all right? So it would look like this. I'm going to rewrite my A, I'm going to rewrite my equal sign, and now I'm going to write a parentheses. I'm going to substitute a parentheses for that B, and then I'm going to convert that H, and I'm going to write another parentheses just like that. And what I've given myself is place savers for numbers that are inside the problem, all right? The base in this is 11, and the height is 7. And so I can place those numbers right inside there. And now the math right here that it's telling me to do is 11 times 7. And so I'd find out that my area for this rectangle is 77 inches squared, all right? So that's the formula, fill it, find it, step-by-step process for the area of a rectangle, all right? I want you to try the formula, fill it, find it process with this parallelogram. And if you haven't been to my channel before, the way that I like to do this is I want to give you a chance to be able to find the answer yourself. So what I would like for you to do is pause the video, go try to find the area yourself, and then come right back, unpause the video, and see if you've gotten the right answer. So go ahead and pause this one and see if you can get the right answer. All right, again, I see a parallelogram, so I know the formula for the area of a parallelogram is A equals BH. My fill it stage just looks just like this. I'm replacing the B and the H with two parentheses. And then I'm looking at my problem, which is my base. That's the number that's attached to the bottom or the top. All right, so the base of a parallelogram is either the top or the bottom because they're the same length. Now, if you're having a confusion of where to find that, what I do is I find the little dotted line, and I see the square on the bottom. The square is attached to this line right there, that's the height, and it's attached to this other line right here, that's the base. So the two lines that this little square is attached to are the numbers that I need to pull. I need to pull 7 as my base and 4 as my height, and when I multiply those together, I get 28 units squared. All right? Try this one, except this one, I haven't given you the dimensions yet. I've got a building here from you, from Dockland. It's the Dockland building in Hamburg, Germany. The architect wanted to make a parallelogram, so it's really pretty cool. So these are the dimensions now of one of the sides. And so what I want to do is just find the area of one of the sides. All right? So you've got that. I want you to pause the video and see if you can do it yourself. All right. Again, we have area equals BH, so area equals parentheses times parentheses, and one of the parentheses I've got 55 and the other one I've got 86, all right? Then I go about multiplying those. 55 times 86, that's 4,730. And it looks like it's meters, and we have squared. All right, with area, we're always going to want to include our units to the power of 2, units squared, just like that. All right, let's move on to triangles. All right, with triangles, it's the same exact process as if we were trying to find the area of a rectangle or a parallelogram, except now you're not just multiplying two numbers, you're gonna have to multiply two numbers and then divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5, all right? Well, where do we get that? We get that in the formula, all right? So you always wanna start with the right formula. So if you go look up what's the area, formula for the area of a triangle, you're gonna find the formula is A equals 1/2 BH. The fillet stage is going to be just like the other one, except there's one extra little number here, but I'll show you what we need to do with it. We need to find area, so I'm going to keep my big A. Then I see an equal sign, so I'm going to write an equal sign. I see a 1/2, so I'm going to write a 1/2. Now I see a small variable or lowercase variable. Instead of writing the variable, I'm going to write a parentheses. And then the last variable, I'm going to write another parentheses just like that. And I've given myself space for the base and the height. And just like with the parallelogram, the base and the height are going to be the sides that are connected to the square. All right, so if you see a dotted line from the top of the triangle to one of the sides, the side that it's moving to is the base. And then the height is going to be the distance between the angle, the opposite angle, and the base, all right? So when we fill that in, the base is 11 and the height is 6. So we can fill it just like that. Then we just do the math. 1/2 is the same thing as 0.5. So if you did this in a calculator, you could do 0.5 times 11 times 6. You've got the answer of 33. All right. Now, if I wanted to do this by longhand, all right, not by the calculator, then I need to remember that the commutative property of multiplication tells us that whenever you're multiplying numbers, and that's all that there is, then it doesn't matter the order that you multiply them in. So a lot of times I'll take the half out of an even number because it'll give me a nice even answer. All right. So 1/2 times 6 is 3, and 3 times 11 is 33. That's just how I do it. All right, see if you can try this one. All right, pause the video and try to find the area of that triangle. All right, again, you want to start with the right formula. You've got 1/2 BH, and then we're going to go to our fillet stage, 1/2 parentheses times parentheses. Then I'm looking for the square and the dotted line, and the two sides that are connected to, I have 12 as a base, and I have 4 as a height. 1/2 times 12 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. And this, we don't know what the units are, so we're just going to put units to the power of 2, units squared, just like that. All right, This right here is a picture of the Great Pyramid of Giza, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and give you the dimensions of one of the sides, and we just want to find what's the area of one of the faces on this pyramid, all right? So you've got the dimensions there on your screen, so see if you can go ahead and find that by yourself. Then you can come back to see if you've got the right answer. So pause the video, try it, and then come back. Okay. Again, let's see, I see a triangle, so the formula for the area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 BH. I'm going to keep my A because I'm trying to find the area. I keep my equal sign, I keep my 1/2. For the base, I'm going to write 440 because that's the bottom number. And then the height is going to be the distance from the top of that triangle to the bottom base. That's 356. And then when I put that in the calculator, I've got 1/2, which is 0.5. If you didn't know that, by the way, that 1/2 was 0.5. The way to turn any fraction to a decimal is take the top number and divide it by the bottom number, all right? So 1/2 is 0.5 times 440 times 356. You're going to get 78,320 meters squared, all right? That's what our answer is, just like that. All right, awesome. Let's move on to the last one. That's trapezoids. Here's a trapezoid. A trapezoid is a four-sided shape, all right, that has two parallel bases of differing lengths, all right? So you see right here, we have four sides, and then I have two parallel bases, and they're different lengths, all right, which makes their kind of connecting. The other sides are on a slant, all right? So whenever you're finding the area of a trapezoid, you want to start with the right formula. So if you go search it up, it's going to be something along these lines. All right, 1/2 base 1 plus base 2, 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times height, or 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. You'll see it in one of those two orders. My order, I've got it listed like this: A equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Now, you might ask, is it a good idea to write this down? It absolutely is. All right, every single time, whenever I'm trying to find, the area of something or something else that another mathematical formula would give me, I always start by writing the correct formula first, and then I go to the next step down. Now I see a 1/2, I'm going to write the 1/2. I'm going to take this big parentheses and write the big parentheses, and then I like to do this, all right? I still like the lowercase letter. I like to put just a place saver for a number right there. Now I see a plus sign, I'm going to write that. I see another lowercase letter variable. I'm going to write a small little place saver for that. Then I've got the parentheses closed out, and then I've got another place saver for my H, just like this. And I'm going to start plugging in those numbers, all right? The H is pretty easy. That's the up and down number right there. And then your two bases, your top and your bottom, are your B1 and B2, all right? So for the top, I always just put, or for the B1, I always just put the top, and for the B2, I put the bottom. It really doesn't matter. One of those is B1, one of those is B2. It doesn't matter which one you call which, but you just need to make sure that you add both of those numbers. All right, now PEMDAS tells us I have to simplify a parentheses first. I've got 8 plus 12, which is 20. And then I've got 1/2, which is 0.5. And then we've got 6 over here. So I simplified my expression. It's 0.5 times 20 times 6. Half of 20 is 10, and 10 times 6 is 60. So this would be 60 inches squared as our answer. All right, I want you to try this last one, and then we're done. All right? So go ahead and try to find the area of this trapezoid. Pause the video and then come back to see what you got. See if you got the right answer. All right, here we go. We've got our formula written down. A equals 1/2 B1 plus B2 times H. Then I've got my fillet stage written out with all my parentheses replacing my letters. Just notice how I've written it exactly the same way. The only thing that's different is I made a place saver for the variable. My B1 is my top number. My B2 is my bottom number, and my height is the distance between the top and the bottom. This other number over here is called, it's a slant, and it's a distractor. Test makers love to put that on there, all right, just to try to distract you, to ensure that you know for sure which number that you need to use. All right, 12 plus 15 is 27. I can go ahead and simplify that, and then I have 1/2 times 27 times 6, all right? Now, remember how I told you the commutative property of multiplication says if you're multiplying numbers, you can multiply them in any order. I like to take that 1/2, if I'm doing it longhand especially, I'll multiply the 1/2 times the even number, because 1/2 times 6 is 3, and then I just have to multiply that by the remaining number, which is 27, and that tells me that the area is 81 centimeters squared. And that's the final answer. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button and share it with your friends. And then if you have any comments, you have any questions, you can put that in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time.